Hello everybody, this is Piotr Michalak, or in English my name is Peter from CCFound. And today we will talk about how to protect your savings from galloping inflation. Just before we start, I hope you can hear me. If you are live, please comment in the comment box if you can hear me, if you can see me. I will try to share my screen so you can see my presentation also on this topic, and we will start as quickly as possible. Okay. So now you should see me and this mirror-like special mirroring effect on my screen, where you can see a screen and the screen. I hope everything is visible, and I will start right now. So once again, welcome everybody. How to protect your savings from galloping inflation. What you will find out today is based on my own project. What niches and problems are huge on the market right now, how and how much you can earn on them, how to invest in startups and generate passive income. Also, you will learn what a brain search engine is, a completely new type of search engine that solves different problems, a search engine that searches other people's minds, and how we will save our time and energy when looking for solutions to our problems in the near future. You will also learn what is a deflationary asset and how it may protect us from growing inflation. What are the other non-financial benefits from doing this? And also how to possibly become my business partner. I am excited. I hope you are too. So let me just have a quick look on your comments. Thank you so much. Greetings from Poland. Hello, friends from Hungary and all over the world. And let's continue, guys. All right. So typically, when we talk about business solution, a case study, a startup, or anything, we start with the problems that need to be solved. But when we speak about investments in the current very volatile market, actually the first question that comes in mind is how much can I earn? What will happen to my money? So please, guys, bear with me. We will get to problems very soon, but let's start first with how much can we actually earn on this. So when we compare investments very quickly, we have investments that earn typically up to 10% per year or much less, like bank deposits, bonds, gold, or real estate. This typically does not generate more than 10%, right? Then we have investments that generate from 10% to even 1,000% per year if you have a good run. So we have stock exchange here, which may grow as high, as quickly as cryptocurrencies. For example, when we had a bull run on marijuana companies, they were growing like 500% per year, just like crypto. And then we have startups. Startups is something a bit different that may grow 1,000%, even 10,000%. So we have a case study here, Sequoia, which invested $8 million in WhatsApp Series A, then another $50 million in follow-up financing. And on the $60 million investment, Sequoia made $3 billion. Sequoia's fund at the time was 1.3 billion. So this single deal repaid the whole fund with a nice multiple. And why does it happen that way? That's because startups revolutionize technologies and take over markets. And that's why investors that are in the game are very interested, especially in technological startups. They and only they can revolutionize and disrupt whole markets and take over niches, markets, industries. All right, so what are you investing in regarding our today's topic, how to protect your savings from galloping inflation? So we are actually creating a revolutionary internet project, which we will talk about next, when I will speak about problems, how it will work in practice, and so forth. So first thing I need you guys to understand is the difference between ordinary shares and a new trend of tokenization, which is a great alternative to ordinary shares. So when we speak about shares, when we opened our company, it would limit us to investors in Poland or possibly UK, where I also have one foot present. So we would need to to plan our presence on the Warsaw or London Stock Exchange, which is also very limiting. For example, if you live in Vietnam, you typically do not have an account on London Stock Exchange, for example. So this is by definition, a limited number of investors, also defined by the type of company. For example, the company we could open in Poland for a sum of money that a startup can afford could only have 400 investors, and this is governed by law. You cannot have more than 400 investors. This also generates an inability to freely bid. We could also open a PLC company in England, but this would cost us £100,000 roughly with law fees. And listing on the stock exchange in the UK is obviously running into hundreds of thousands of pounds or more. So this is a great alternative if someone wants to really build a big company without going through all these hoops and hurdles. New trend of tokenization. It creates a possibility to create a public project from the very beginning without angel investors, seed round funding, venture capital, and so forth. Just allowing you to offer a great project to people on the very early stage also, and allowing them to reach as high as 1,000 or 10,000% ROI if the project is successful, obviously. So imagine if you could invest any type of money in WhatsApp Series A, right? But this wasn't open to public. So we have tokens and cryptocurrencies, currently a new trend on the market, which could be called shares of the 21st century if they represent a share in a decentralized autonomous organization, which I will tell you about next. So these types of shares increase the chances of a startup's success. Why? Because they facilitate financing, they reduce legal restrictions we spoke about just a moment ago, and they increase the chances of the startup having profit, and that means that your chances of profits increase because this makes it easier for the startup to be successful. It minimizes the risk. Especially if we assume that the startup owner and startup creators really have good intentions in mind, of course, which we do. I don't know about other people. So let's speak about tokens that may represent a share in the DAO. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which can be also called decentralized corporation. And we believe that this is the future of companies. So CCFound, which is our case study today, will be a company in the cloud. We believe this is a new trend and more companies will follow this route. This solves many other problems like engagement of the workforce. So imagine a company in the cloud has no formal workforce nor payroll. It just has people who finish tasks online and earn rewards by doing so. And everything is governed by code, not by managers with high salaries. Users are shareholders, and this means that users are also more engaged in the platform itself. So, to make it easier for you to understand what a decentralized corporation in the future may be, just answer this question. Imagine today's company and strip off all the assets, all the resources from this company. Imagine this company has no assets now. What is left? What is the skeleton of the company when you take all the assets away? So if you think about it, you will understand that what an organization actually is without all the assets is a set of organizational rules about what we do, how we do it, how we reward people, what are our processes, what are our procedures. What are our rules, values? And these rules typically can be written in code. Thus, we can create a company in the cloud. So when we speak about DAO, if you know what DAO is, you probably think about voting, right? And DAO is not about voting, actually. Voting should be the last resort when you create a decentralized corporation in the cloud. Voting is the last resort if the rules need to be changed, if new rules need to be created, or if we need to choose investment projects for the decentralized corporation to invest in. So this is just a quick comment for those of you who associate DAOs with voting. This is not so simple. Okay, so now we understand that tokens or cryptocurrencies may represent shares of the 21st century. We also have a positive interpretation of the Polish Financial Supervision Authority on this. We asked them if our own token is an STO, which stands for Security Token Offering, or a utility token. And they said that this is a hybrid token and you guys have a green light to sell this token to the public. So this is a very positive interpretation here, and we are happy about this. All right, I'm just looking quickly at the comments. I see guys from Ireland. Happy about this. All right, getting back to our presentation, let's speak about our own case study here, Foundcoin. So, Foundcoin is an investment in DAO tokens instead of company shares, like I told you a moment ago. This is a joint stock company of the 21st century. These tokens will give voting rights, will generate tokens, and tokens means that people holding found coins will generate passive profits every day, not every year like in ordinary companies, and they are created in a way to increase in value systematically. They are designed to grow from the ground up because these tokens are deflationary. And you need to understand how groundbreaking this is, because not many assets nowadays are deflationary. For example, Bitcoin is still inflationary, even though it is limited to 21 million coins. But Bitcoin is inflationary, actually. Ethereum is also inflationary. But Foundcoin is by definition deflationary, much better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So deflation is the opposite of inflation, right? Tokens are purchased from the market by the DAO with the DAO revenues. So all of the revenues made by the DAO will be used to purchase back the tokens on the free market. Then some of the tokens are banned. And even now we have started doing so. We started with 2 billion found coins, and now there are only 1.7 billion found coins, the number you see on the screen. And even today, I will burn another package of found coins with my team. And in the future, it will be implemented systemically, so that the smart contract itself will be burning the tokens. Right now, we have to do it manually. But that's why we are looking for investors to automate all the tasks, to write the rules in code. Because, like we said, the DAO is a company with rules written in code. So before we go further, we need to talk about investment advice. So what I present today for you guys is not investment advice, and I have this long disclaimer on the right side of my presentation here. You can make a screenshot of it, or you will also find it on our website at CCFound.com in the links below the fold at the downside of our web page, and you can study this if you want. However, I need to tell you that this is not investment advice before I proceed. All right? If we have this, let's move forward to our investment projection. How was it created? How much will found coins grow in value? Probably. All right. So switching back to our table, about the utility, you will see very soon my friend. I will talk about this in the later part of the presentation. All right, so let's look at the table. Here we have a projection of the number of users on the platform. And first, I need to explain what the revenue per user is. We actually have a company in Poland that is running the exact same business model we want to implement in CCFound. We have the biggest investment publishing company in Poland. Actually, these numbers are even higher now. This projection was made mid-year last year. Right now, this would be even more than $154 per user, but we decided to stay with this number as a pessimistic indicator. And if we have a projection of a social media platform, which typically grows exponentially, we can assume that 80,000 users, 160,000 users, 320,000 users in a few years is not a very optimistic assumption. So it's an easy calculation here. We know how this business model works. We currently even know how much we earn per user, and we can assume how many users we will have on the platform because it is a social media and we know how they will grow. I have also worked in social media since 16 years ago. My first business endeavor was one of the biggest questions and answers platforms for students in Poland. And I actually worked in 3 platforms like this. Then one of them developed into what currently Brainly is. After $60 million of financing, Brainly is run by one of my former business partners. So I know how this business looks from the inside. So we have a social media here in the table of users. We have a knowledge marketplace here, a publishing company with revenue per users, and this easily gives us the number of sales. So if we look at the future years, we can calculate the income. We also know that the margin of the platform will be roughly 25%. And this is because this platform will allow users to publish their products online. So the platform will take roughly 25% from the sales made by users with their own products. Of this 25%, 50% will be sent to you as a token holder and other token holders. So to say our investors. So 50% is spent as tokens and is given back to you. And in the first years, this token is not very big. It will be like 2%, 7% ROI per year from your initial investment. So it's not much. But if you can wait several more years till you're probably like 28 or maybe 30, this platform will probably grow to numbers that will generate hundreds of percent in the tokens alone in profit for you. So that's one thing. Token accumulated is also something we can look at, which indicates that it is possible that you will get a positive ROI from the tokens alone by the year 27, assuming also that the token price will not grow in value. Because understand also one thing, tokens will be calculated and sent in found coins also. So if you generate 100% back in found coins, but by this time, found coins will also grow in value, especially the found coins you received in the years before. You will have much more than 100% here. But I haven't taken this into account in this particular table. It is taken account, though, in the equity table. Here, we have used an indicator calculated by our advisors from stock markets. If we look at CCFound, it is somewhere between information technology like Google, somewhere between social media like Facebook, and these types of services. So we can calculate equity from the profit equity ratio, taking into account the income. This not necessarily need to be calculated like this, because cryptocurrency valuations often are not indicated by the income generated by platform. Many of the cryptocurrencies you can see, for example, on CoinMarketCap, do not generate any income, right? They are not companies at all. They are not decentralized corporations, and still they are worth like $35 billion or something like Cardano, right? But we need to make some kind of a projection. So the best thing we could think of is looking at the stock exchange, and this gives us an indicator of growing roughly to 200%, 500%, 1000% in the next 4, 5, maybe 6 years. And if you are patient enough to wait even more, this may give up to 10,000% or even more, assuming this business will be successful. So that's how a good startup should be developed. A good startup for an angel investor who puts his money in 10 or 100 companies, and probably 80% of these companies will fail. The other 20% of the companies need to make up for the other companies that failed, right? So you need to have hundreds of percent of ROI in a nicely developed startup. I just want you guys to understand this reality. That's how angel investors and VCs operate, and that's why we looked at Sequoia Capital before, right? Which we said, and like 50 times the investment on WhatsApp. So I hope you understand this, and let me just look at your comments. All right. Getting back to the presentation. So, social media and cryptocurrency valuations are often disconnected from earnings. That's what I wanted you to understand. Because investors buy the potential, and the potential of the investment lies in the network effect. The medium is a distribution channel, and monetization of the medium often comes later. And that was the case with Facebook, that was losing money for many years, and still it was a multi-billion-dollar company. And you need to understand this to make money either on stock exchange with technological startups or with Foundcoins, which I hope you will invest in today. All right, so Found or CCFound will be a marriage of social media and a marketplace. So these are two things in one, because social media grows exponentially. This is a distribution channel that gives us access to customers. But typically, social media have problems with monetization. And that's why we are connecting this with a marketplace, which monetizes the traffic. So we don't plan to earn money on advertisement like Facebook, Quora, and many other services. We want to earn money because users will be selling their products online on the platform. So what will you get out of it apart from the profits? Let's move quickly forward to the most important part of the presentation, the problem, the market that is currently very big and no one thinks about this. You will save time and energy by solving problems based on other people's experiences. I will soon explain how. You will support the fight for freedom of speech and oppose the omnipresent censorship. And also together we will change the internet into a more friendly, helpful, and organized place. All right, let's understand what is currently the situation today. Guys, not all types of knowledge can be found on the internet. You may have found already that you won't find answers to many of your questions on Google, especially if you need advice. Much of the content on Google is written by SEO copywriters or marketers, not real experts. Content creation process is where the expert or blogger guesses what people want to read typically. Social media also arbitrarily censor inconvenient people and content, and authors get nothing from publishing. It's a long-term process to build your presence online, to build your brand, and to earn money by running a blog a YouTube channel, or anything of that sort. And you can be arbitrarily censored anytime. So most of the current internet right now is SEO trash content. And this is not good. Today's media is a chaotic stream of trash information. That's the result. Let's understand this deeply so we know what to do about this. Looking first at the problems of users, we have the problem of information chaos. First of all, we have information overload. We are feeling tired and can no longer keep up with all the news, updates, and changes around us. And this is because of the exponential growth in the amount of information. All of us have seen the articles like this: world will store more and more zettabytes of data by the year XYZ, right? This is a problem because of the democratization of publication. Nowadays, everyone can publish something, so everyone does. Also, everyone has access rights to information, which is good, but publication rights is a problem. Everyone may search and read, everyone may publish, everyone does publish, and published content also includes comments. And understand this, that comments are pseudonymous. All the likes and comments are worth the same in the eyes of an expert. So when you have hateful comments, this creates creators burnout. Creators read 99 positive comments and one negative comment, even if it was written by someone incompetent, and this still hurts. Hateful comments are hurting creators, and that's why a great number of people is not publishing online at all. A great number of experts are not online nowadays because of this. Also, normal users have fear of asking and of answering questions, on commenting online, of getting into discussions because of the fear of getting hated. So that's one problem. Then we have attention algorithms. So current social media are governed by machine learning and AI algorithms. Platforms are created in a way to generate dopamine bursts and get us addicted to the service. And you have a complete movie created on this problem, The Social Dilemma, on Netflix, which I highly recommend you to watch. All right, so these algorithms are trying to rate what is valuable for us. People create content for algorithms rather than for other people. That's the result. You have SEO content of low quality written by students to make extra money online, because the more content you create, the better you are with Google, for example. The more YouTube videos you make, the higher you are on YouTube ladder. You need to use clickbaits, funny thumbnails, fast video cuts, tags, and search optimization again. And entertainment is more important than education and than value. So these algorithms are telling us what is valuable online, and then we have content created for algorithms, and then we have trash content online. This is a huge problem nowadays, and we need to stop using attention-grabbing algorithms on the media we are using, or we will be governed by artificial intelligence. Also, this generates another problem: shallow thinking. Search for Daniel Kahneman and a great book of his where he's speaking much more in depth about this. I will go just very briefly. Distraction economics. This is the economy we live in right now, where distracting us, means money for the media. Apps and media strive to be addictive by gamification and rewarding our primal instincts and nursing our Pavlov's reflexes. All of this results in shortening our span of attention and memory. Also, we have instant culture, where less people read books, more people watch TikToks, and we see a decline of competence, especially within the young people. Evolution, our brains can't keep up with this because our brains don't know how to evaluate the value of the incoming stream of information. And actually, this is why media are trying to develop the attention grabbing algorithms. That's the exact solution to the problem, but this doesn't work because attention algorithms, like the movie Social Dilemma says, are addictive and their goal is to distract us all the time. So you see more ads. So think about this. Do you know the difference between data, information, knowledge, wisdom, and entertainment? Typically, we just get a huge stream of incoming data from the internet, and we don't even know if what we are looking at is information, knowledge, or wisdom. And should we be looking at it at all? Hi, guys. Hi from Vietnam. Hello, everybody. All right, so let's move forward. So, innovation is declining because of all these problems, and you can see this looking at the 80s sentiment, the golden decade. This was the early time where computers were just beginning to be introduced. And we are living in an era where most innovations, most movies, music are just rehashed versions of what was discovered in the 80s. Have you thought about this? We also live in information bubbles where we have a problem of cancel culture, national firewalls of China, Belarus, North Korea, and possibly other countries, where we have media corruption and, of course, censorship, which is a political issue with censoring the president of the United States on Twitter, for example, where you first imagine you are building your presence, you have 88 million followers, and then your account gets suspended. You have biggest party profile on Facebook blocked in Poland, for example, Konfederacja. And also Facebook is working with Vietnam party to block competing politicians. This is actually a decision made by Mark Zuckerberg himself, from what we have read and researched. We also have health issues. Like for example, with current situation with COVID and vaccines, you may have heard about the case of mass formation psychosis by Robert Malone, which was quickly edited by Google and, funnily enough, also by Wikipedia. I thought at least Wikipedia wouldn't censor this, but we see Wikipedia is also prone to censorship. So we only see one perspective because of living in information bubbles. We only grow when we incorporate many perspectives. There is no growth in thinking the same way all the time. But when we live in information bubbles, we only see one perspective all the time, and this makes our civilization stop. So we also have a problem of false numbers in the current media. We spoke about junk content, which is false number all in itself, but we also have fake bot accounts online. Roughly 30 to 70% of the current internet is made up of robots registering on Facebooks, Twitters, and other media. And this is actually good for these companies. They do not want to fight this because it pumps up their valuations on the stock exchange. Recently, you may have heard that Netflix is selling less accounts, and that's why the stock price has fallen so roughly, so abruptly. So when Facebook says we are generating millions of new accounts each and every month, investors are investing in Facebook. The greater the number of users on Facebook or Twitter, the higher the valuation gets. And no one is incentivized to question this and to change the rules of the game. So this problem will just continue. We also have a trend of dehumanization, where users are products for the social media. And we have media pauperization, where the media, in the past, used to lead people to a higher level of culture. An educated person, an intellectual, need to read a newspaper to be able to discuss current political problems with his friends. But currently, each user online is equally valued, like I said before, no matter if he is a student or a professor. I spoke about this in the section about hate, where I spoke that you can be hated by a lowly qualified student, even if you have received 99 positive reviews from professors, and this one student may make you feel burnt out because everyone is equally valued online. There is no reputation system currently. And editors of the media optimize the media for the popularity, for click-through rates of titles. And this is resulting in clickbaitness. So people in huge numbers prefer to read about very low life problems of who divorced someone else, and not about things that push our lives forward. So media are now run for the highest numbers, averaging the level of the content to the lowest common denominator. So we see a self-winding spiral of optimization for a deteriorating target group. And the more the target group deteriorates again, the more the spiral of optimization gets lower and lower and lower. That's where the media are currently online. We also have another set of problems of content creators, and we need to go through them so you understand how it will work in practice and if it makes sense to invest in solving this problem. We currently live in a narcissistic influencer culture where influencers and content creators are forced to solve the problem of community defragmentation. You currently have thousands of little groups on Facebook and other media. Reaching people is much harder nowadays than 10 years ago. We have attention optimizing algorithms, so the newest content is typically on the top, especially in these little groups on Facebook. So posts, even valuable ones you could write, are very short-lived, and also your movies on YouTube are the same. It makes little sense for an expert to share his wisdom online because it's a waste of time. What you will create will get quickly washed over by the newest content next day. So an influencer needs to build a huge following. This was always true. How to do this nowadays? Even if he does this by posting a new video on YouTube each and every day, he will typically monetize by ads. And media share a small percentage of the profits with the influencer. And very few people achieve ROI. Influencer could sell his knowledge. Influencers are typically experts. But there are few knowledge selling tools online. So influencer has to create his own website, shopping cart, and voicing tool, etc. And here you have another set of problems. You have exponential growth in programmer salaries, especially since lockdowns and COVID. You have no people for hire right now, and you also need them for maintenance works. It doesn't work like that, that you will just create a shopping cart and that's it. You need to make changes all the time. You need to hire programmers. And again, you need to have a following huge enough to compensate for their growing salaries. So influencer has to move also traffic between platforms. Even if he succeeds in building his shopping cart, invoicing systems, so forth, he has friction because he needs to ask people to switch platforms. When you are on YouTube, when you see my video on YouTube, I will ask you, please go to my website and purchase, for example, Foundcoins. You will see a change in layout, you will change your domain, and this results in a huge drop of effectiveness. This distracts people. It would be much easier to sell if everything would be on one platform, integrated. So all of this leads to an excess of tasks and a professional burnout. And this is a very important graphic, guys. When you look at an expert's life nowadays, he has team maintenance, so he's a manager. He has to learn about his specialization, for example, medicine, cryptocurrencies, or anything else. He also has to maintain the company, so he's also an entrepreneur, a manager, an expert, then he has to prepare, create a product, and then he also has to learn marketing and sales and execute marketing and sales. So he's actually working on 5 or 6 completely different things all the time. And this generates professional burnout and leads to a culture of narcissistic influencers, which we started at the beginning. So, this is a culture of online gurus. You may have heard about the term. And we want online gurus actually because we have a blind faith in authorities. And why? Because of Prussian education system that we were born into. And Prussian education system works by standardizing the methods and allowing to scale up the education of employees and officials. And that's why it was introduced in by Bismarck to create a production line of officials, of employees. This generates a commoditization, a commodification of students. But this also leads to not questioning authorities. And typically I hear this question, how will you invite experts to CCFound? And this is a wrong question, because experts will not be invited to CCFound. These experts that live like this nowadays, they don't have time. They are already burnt out. They want to resign from their positions. We will need to create a completely new class of experts that are currently not online. And these experts will be born on CCFound. So we live in a new world right now where information is no longer an advantage. You also need to understand this, whether or not you will invest in CCFound, because this will change your life if you understand that we have already transitioned from the information age to the knowledge age. Let me explain this. Just a quick look at the comments. Okay, I see my staff answering questions. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we have this transition. We are currently building on agriculture age, industrial age, and information age, like we see in this graphic below. So it's not that we no longer have industrial companies. We also still have information companies. But now more and more knowledge companies will be needed in the current era. And the future holds for us a wisdom era, which we are also prepared for. So there is a huge change coming, and you can also observe that the times are changing faster and faster. Information era took us only about 20 years, whereas industrial era took 200 years. And now we live in knowledge, and it will probably take us only a few years to gradually start moving into wisdom. Organizations today work like this. You take a position in a company, you earn a flat hourly, weekly, or monthly rate, and you are rewarded for taking and guarding your position, right? This is how the current world looks like. And this is a relic of information and industrial eras, especially the industrial one. But now, when we move into knowledge and wisdom, the DAOs will be slowly taking over. And in the DAOs, you carry out tasks, you earn rewards, and you are rewarded for actual productivity, a completely different logic from the one above. You are not rewarded for just sitting on your stool and guarding a position. You are rewarded for carrying out specific tasks. And knowledge differentiates who can do these tasks actually, who has a better know-how and thus produces more. The better knowledge you have, the more productive you are, and the more you earn. And this is actually very wise, right? When we look at social media, you are not a product in the knowledge and wisdom era. You are a co-creator, and you will be a co-owner. And we are a first social media of this sort that will be online. How to pass on knowledge and wisdom, you could ask. So this is an answer that will tell us what should we do with the service, what should we create so that people will use it and invest in it. So the best tool to share knowledge and wisdom actually is telling a story. We all love stories, but hardly anyone can do it. It's very hard to share knowledge by telling stories. So the second best tool you can use to share knowledge is questions and answers, where someone can ask a question like, for example, this one. Guys, I want to create a new startup. I want to solve the problem of information chaos and pass on knowledge and wisdom between users on a social media. How to pass on knowledge and wisdom. This is a problem to be solved. And these kinds of problems and others, obviously, will be shared on CCFound. So we know what problems we will solve. We know how much you can earn on this because we know how this business model works. We have a multi-million-dollar company in Poland, which I co-own, which currently does this, and we just want to scale up. So how it will work in practice? Understand first what revolutionized our times. In the past, a trash bin of websites was created 20 years ago, and Google's mission was, let's index them. And today, a trash bin of posts was created. Similarly, not websites, but posts. And what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with this chaotic stream of posts? So Google's mission was organizing the world's information, right? And it wasn't about knowledge or wisdom, note. So it was organize the world's information, it wasn't organize the world's knowledge. Thus, when you have a problem, you cannot ask Google for advice. Wikipedia also organizes the world's information, not knowledge or wisdom. Because, for example, when you go to Wikipedia, you have no know-how there. You can't ask for advice. You can't find a solution to a problem on Wikipedia. So what is currently used for finding solutions, for finding know-how, for getting more productive? Quora and Facebook typically, or maybe Stack Exchange for programmers. But Quora and Facebook have a mission of connecting people mostly for entertainment purposes. Quora states that they are for wisdom, but they are not doing a good job because they are not organizing the knowledge they generate. So let's understand the blue ocean. Is there a blue ocean for this? Let's make it easy for people all over the world to share their experiences by creating a helpful place for asking any question and gaining multiple perspectives for each and every question you will ask. Then we will collect, translate, and organize the world's resources of knowledge and wisdom. And organizing is key because no other platform currently has a way of organizing knowledge. And then let's enable the monetization of knowledge in all possible ways to incentivize building a presence and helping people becoming experts and earning money as experts. All right, so where is the blue ocean? You currently have no platforms online that would allow monetization like CCFound plans to do, and you have almost no organized platforms online. Only Stack Exchange a bit, and Wikipedia is really organized, but it doesn't solve the problem of organizing knowledge, only information. So let's move to the specifics, shall we? Okay. What do I want as a user? As a person looking for a solution, I want to ask my question in a helpful place and not get criticized. I want to reach people with different backgrounds to find people I like and to find people who can help me. I also want to see my challenge from different perspectives. I want to broaden my thinking and get inspired. And I want to find knowledge that isn't available elsewhere. As a person with experience, I want to share it with others and help them. I want to get a clear question, not to guess what others want. I want to find people I can help and who need something. I want to educate, develop, and support people. I want to be rewarded and appreciated for my contribution. I want to build my popularity in the community. I want to be able to earn with my knowledge without becoming a guru or a celebrity. I want to find a place where I can sell my products to the community without being salesy. I also want to find a place that does not treat me as a product, but as a subject, as a human being. I want to find a place that allows freedom of expression and does not censor. So let's create a place like this. And also, what do I want? What do you want as an investor? If you are an investor in a startup or a cryptocurrency, you want to find a project that will 10x to 100x, right? You want financial freedom and possibly passive income. But if you're an entrepreneur, you want to invest in something that will turn out to be a breakthrough and multiply your wealth. And you want to protect your savings from inflation. And we do all of this. So, how to create a brain search engine? So, we understand already that Google searches websites for information. And CCFound will search other people's minds to find solutions, to find know how. And know how is knowledge. So, Google connects you with websites, and CCFound connects you with other people's brains. That's the main difference. So, when you think about questions and answers, let's change them into problems and solutions. Let's have valuable discussions, collecting multiple perspectives with persistent organization of content and translation into different languages. And this will be huge. I will tell you about translation in a moment. You can ask questions about your challenges and delegate finding the solution to your problem so that others do it for you. Do not reinvent the wheel. Discover best practices. Someone has already solved your problem somewhere, and you can save much money, energy, time by asking other people. Solve problems based on someone else's experiences, no matter if it is an investment, financial, business problem, or maybe a medical one, or law problem, or organizational one, management, leadership, anything you want. This way, you can have a coffee with the whole world. By coffee with the whole world, we understand that typically you can ask your friend for advice by having a beer or a coffee with your friend. But imagine having a coffee with hundreds of people at the same time. That's CCFound. See beyond horizons, think beyond boundaries. See multidimensionally thanks to the perspectives of many people. You can help others by sharing what you know. So that's how communities are built. They are built on social capital, on giving other people, thus generating a depth of gratitude. So we create a culture of friendliness and helpfulness, and compensating for helpfulness with reputation points and unlocking permissions. First of all, when someone is helpful enough, he unlocks a permission to publish his product on the marketplace. And if we have a platform that lets you connect experts with people who need advice, expert no longer has to hire a team. He no longer has to have a company. He no longer needs to learn marketing. All he can do is help other people by answering their questions, learning about what he's specializing in, and preparing his information product. And that's it. And this is connected with what we had before. And it can't go on like this online. So CCFound will solve one of the most important problems of influencers that are currently online, and also the problem of connecting with one's subscribers, allowing communication possibilities when you unlock permissions by being helpful on the platform and earning reputation points. And that's how communities are built, that's how they were always built, and that's how it does not currently work in current social media. And we need to change this together. Okay, so this is our vision for how it will work in practice in very broad overview. I could go on and on for hours about how the knowledge database will work, how we will monetize, how the marketplace will work, how the moderation will work. But I wanted this webinar to be up to 1 hour, and we are already getting past this time. So let me just introduce one more thing. Yeah, this was about creating a brain search engine, how to create the world's biggest knowledge database. All right, so there will be no attention AI algorithms, and we will organize the content by popularity. So this is a very simple solution. You can say this is an Occam's solution, if you know the term, where we just delete a so-called innovation that just hasn't worked, and we move back to an internet of 15 years ago, and it is actually better than what we have today. We will just have the most liked content at the top, and that's it. And if you imagine questions and answers, problems and solutions, and you go into any category, for example, Bitcoin, medicine, anything, you will have fundamentals at the top. You will have the most broad questions at the top. And the more and more you go below the fold, the more and more advanced the problems will get. So what you receive is actually a table of contents with knowledge for each and every topic. That's a very easy solution to a very complicated problem. And typically with innovations, the most easy solutions win. You don't need attention algorithms. We don't need to be governed by artificial intelligence. So how to live in a symbiosis with Google? Lots of questions, lots of problems on CCFound means that Google will be indexing us. Let me turn on the light, maybe. Google will be indexing us. So we will have high traffic and an increase in the number of users. And here we get into the most important part. We will translate the content into different languages. If you ask a question, for example, in French, in Spanish, in Japanese, in German, or in Polish, in Vietnamese, in any language, it will be translated into each and every other language. So you will reach an audience all around the world, across the borders, and generate knowledge from people who are outside your culture, typically have different perspectives, and there was no tool online before that would allow you to freely communicate with people all around the world, no matter what language you are using. This is a very strong value proposition. No one in the world has done this. This is also a huge technical problem, which we are working on, and that's why we need funding to solve this problem also. But we are working on allowing people all around the world to communicate freely. And if you think about translating everything into each and every other language, you can see that if you ask a question, for example, in Vietnamese, this question will be visible in Google all around the world, in Poland, in England, in the States, in Spain, everywhere. And this is huge. So we will be very strong in Google. We will overtake Google search results in the future years. All right, so how to make sure that published content is of highest quality? We decentralize moderation. Users will report and improve content for reputation points and Foundcoins. We also have two-step translation correction process, and we have a 4-tier judicial system. So that also means no censorship. We will also decentralize the content with interplanetary file system. Maybe you have heard about this technology. IPFS will take over our database in the future, and all that CCFound will be just linking to IPFS as a reader of content published on IPFS. So you will have a portal or a social media as a protocol where it cannot be banned, it cannot be deleted, it cannot be censored, and it will go through the firewalls of China, Belarus, and other countries. How we will monetize and earn money is also important. So we will have each and every type of information product that is currently available with events, books, ebooks, webinars, reports, closed groups, forums, monthly subscriptions, consultations, and of course, online courses. You will have possibility to create sales funnels, one-time offers with upselling, cross-selling, special promos, tribe building, and easy communication with your subscribers. This is huge. No other platform on the current internet has developed all of these functions, and additionally connecting it with the social media. And that's also why we need funding, because all of this is a lot of development, but it's also groundbreaking and a blue ocean. So you may actually own a portion of one of the biggest media platforms in future. All right, so I hope this convinces you that this is something that may actually protect our savings from galloping inflation. I do not say you put all your savings in CCFound, but I hope you put at least a portion of your savings in CCFound, because this may be a portion that, if we are successful, may actually be in the future great wealth for you and your family. So where can we invest? Let me first reiterate the promise, and later I will also answer some questions. So let's reiterate. CCFound is a brain search engine. It enables the exchange of knowledge over borders and nations by translating the content into all possible languages. CCFound brings order to the internet. It collects and organizes problems and solutions to create the largest knowledge base on the internet. CCFound creates a helpful place for knowledge exchange, where people have the freedom to discuss everything and to earn money for their knowledge. And I invite you to invest in a project that will very possibly bring you 10 to 100% or maybe more return in a few to several years. So in order to invest, please go to ccfound.com right now and register on our platform. So this is our website, and I have a surprise for you guys. Happy hours just for you who hear my webinar. Happy hours, a 10% bonus in what you invest. So, for example, if you purchase with the minimum amount of $100, you get Foundcoins for $110. And it will only be online for 2 hours right now, starting now. So this is 3 p.m. my time, Warsaw time, and I invite you to register as quickly as possible, because you have 2 hours to take part in the happy hours 10% bonus. So yeah, this is our website. You can read two-pager, and you can read download white paper and two-pager on this website. You can also see explainer video here, but you can also change the language from English to Polish here. Sorry, we don't have Vietnamese yet. And you can also log into the platform here or register if you haven't already. And up to €1,000, you don't have to pass through KYC or AML. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So CCFound.com is the official place of purchasing found coins, starting with as little as $100. Once again, no KYC up to €1,000, because we are in Europe. And you have big bonuses after each round. We call them airdrops. We only have several rounds left, and the sooner you get in, the better, because you will receive a bonus after each round. Even if you purchase found coins today and you just keep them, you will have also 6 future rounds after today's, and this is 27th January when I record this. We have 6 rounds besides the one that's going on right now. And the more bonuses you receive after each round, the lower average cost of purchase you will get. And the lower average cost of purchase, the bigger the ROI you generate. So currently, one found coin is 5 cents. But if you generate bonuses, one found coin may drop to, for example, 3 cents for you. And then imagine we get into exchanges. And on the exchange, the price of found coin may grow from 5 cents to 6 cents. So if you bought for 5 cents in the last round and it grows to 6 cents, you just have a 20% ROI, right? But if you generated bonuses because you participated in all the rounds, you got in early, then growing from 3 cents of an average cost of purchase to 6 cents, this means 100% ROI, right? So this is just an easy explanation of why is it really beneficial to you to get in as soon as possible, preferably during the next 2 hours, because you will receive a 10% bonus. All right, some countries are excluded, and I will also tell you on how to bypass KYC or buy from other countries. And this is about alternatives. First alternative is Kanga Exchange. Let me show you the website first. Kanga.exchange. This is run by our friends. You can register here. And this is an official cooperation between CCFound and Kanga. There is no KYC at all. And by other countries, I mean Germany or United States or a few others where ICO campaigns like ours, where crowdfunding campaigns are not legal. We cannot sell found coins to you if you live in Germany, unfortunately, unless you have someone who may register for you from Poland, for example, or other country where you have family, right? But if you can't, if you live in Germany or States, please purchase through Kanga Exchange. There is no KYC as long as you deposit cryptocurrencies. This is important. What about airdrops or the bonuses I spoke about before? You can transfer your funds to CCFound.com for bonuses by writing to support@ccfound.com. So please write to support@ccfound.com if you have purchased on Kanga Exchange, and you will also receive the bonuses after future rounds. We also have decentralized exchanges with even lower price than the official one, which results from the lower average cost of purchase. So if you are using PancakeSwap or anything else, please also understand this is a lower price which results from the bonuses. That's the mechanism. But there is also a very little liquidity. It is a liquidity that I could say, please be wary that purchasing with more than a few $100s will probably make the price grow up very abruptly, and it will cease to be a beneficial place to purchase coins. But if you want to use decentralized exchanges, please do so. Currently, from what I have seen, it's just $2,500 of the total liquidity created by our own users without our support on decentralized exchanges. Everybody can do this. This is completely legal. Everyone can add liquidity to decentralized exchanges. This was not done by us, and you can use PancakeSwap, which is the exchange. However, please also note that the lower price is because of the lower average cost of purchase because of bonuses, and it actually proves the point that getting early is beneficial because it will make you able to sell with a lower price and still have an ROI, right? So you also have no KYC or AML on the centralized exchanges, but also understand there are no bonuses. If you purchase on PancakeSwap, you cannot transfer found coins to CCFound.com. All right, so what I recommend mostly is purchasing in our official channel on CCFound.com. And if you are from a country like Germany or States, please use Kanga Exchange. I hope you guys have decided to invest in our project, and I would like you to support a good cause and earn money in the process. You can also support us by joining our affiliate program. Also register at CCFound.com and you will generate 10% commission from all the investments you recommend. And top 3 partners each and every round gain a bonus of plus 10%. So this is a really good deal. I wholeheartedly invite you to register at CCFound.com and invest in the next 2 hours because we have happy hours. Receive plus 10% bonus for your investment made until 5 p.m. Warsaw time. Please use a world clock to translate this time into your local time if you don't live in Poland, right? All right, so I will answer your questions now. I hope you are registering right now. We have just less than 2 hours left. Let me look at your comments. Akar is asking about alternative calculations for optimistic and pessimistic scenarios, and I had them. However, I decided to resign from these calculations because this was too complicated for people. There were too many tables, and I decided I want to make this simple for you because most investors just want to see one table and not 7 tables. So I can't share this right now. I also see your comment above that these are realistic. I hope so. We have an article on our blog that the number of users may grow even much higher than the ones we are projecting, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. We will see what the growth will be, and obviously we will work on this. I can only say that we have 50,000 subscribers in the Polish company I spoke before, the multi-million-dollar company. 50,000 subscribers or users. We have 19,000 subscribers in CCFound right now. So we are already moving forward. And we also have my own company that is focused on the entrepreneurs, the company I have been leading for 16 years. And this company has 35,000 subscribers or users. So we know how to generate tens of thousands of users. And I think this may lead to CCFound getting this roughly 80,000 users this year. And what about future years? Will we grow ×2 every year, or will it be ×3 maybe, or maybe ×1.5? We still need to see. Okay. Hello to Nigeria. Yes, we'll still need to update some numbers. We still need to burn the tokens after the past round. Sorry about this. I will be doing this today. We will be listed on Kanga exchange first, and then probably move to a KuCoin, and then probably move to Binance. But we will see what the future holds. Oh, sorry, I forgot about Gate.io. It will probably be before KuCoin. And this all depends on how the market will take us, on the market making process, on the exchange fees. So there are many variables in play right now. But we have this typical plan of moving from Kanga to Gate.io to KuCoin and to Binance later. When we will be opened to public? We are very close to this. Actually, I can proudly say that we already have the beta version ready, but we are not officially opening it. However, we have planned to open it next Thursday. I will be leading webinars next Thursday. It will be past this round, so please invest now because next Thursday the round will be closed. However, next Thursday, I will show you the beta version. What are we waiting for right now is developing some discussion on the platform. What I want to show you guys is some typical discussions that will in the future take place on CCFound. So we are currently working with editors to create a few case studies of discussions, and this is what I want to focus on, because the functionalities are not yet developed. You won't yet see a marketplace, you won't yet see a translation mechanisms. Many things need yet to be done. We are generating capital to create this platform, not for a created platform, right? The platform is not yet created. But the beta version will be very simple, and what I want to focus on is showing you how the discussion will work, how the case of someone is asking about a problem and other people are solving the problem, how this works. And we are working right now with our editorial team, and I am preparing the next webinar, which will take place in a week. Okay. Yes, I have answered this question. I will be burning coins today. And the number will be updated. And these are all the questions I see right now on the live. So I will share a few other questions I have came up with for my presentation. So typically I get asked, where are we financially? So currently we earn roughly $117,000 for the past 2 rounds. We were as high as $300,000 several rounds before. So we see the number of investors falling right now. This is also probably connected to what's happening on the cryptocurrency markets right now, where we see where Bitcoin is right now. So we also see that the stock market is falling. So this is not a very good time, and we also see that our investors are a little bit wary of what's going on in the world. So that's one thing, but we are still earning money, thankfully. We are burning less than this, so that means we generate roughly from $200,000 to $600,000 each month, right? And we burn roughly $150,000 each month, right? So this is our burn rate. We have roughly 25 people on board, and we have more than $2 million in the bank, like closer to $2.5 million. So that's where we are financially. Where are we with the beta version of the platform? That one I have already answered. And I sometimes get asked, won't someone bigger destroy you? So I have a prepared answer for this, which is a fun one. Imagine, guys, a meeting between Uber and early investors. What if the taxi lobby destroys you? One of the investors asked, right? It's funny. So understand that we will be a threat only because we have already succeeded. And I could stop at this, but also I would like you understand as investors that the standard behavior of giants is not destroying competition. It's not so easy to copy a startup, first of all. Big companies lose their entrepreneurial spirit typically, and Google's path is also littered with failures. Look at Google Plus, Google Videos, or Google Questions. And it does not mean that a Google Plus, a social media platform, will not work. It does not mean that a video platform will not work. And it does not mean that a questions and answers website will not work. It just proves a point that Google is not fit or not always fit to create innovations because they are a big company. So giants typically purchase competition. That's how Google purchased YouTube. That's how Facebook purchased Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, and other companies. So large companies have budgets to take over innovative startups. So the question is, will we sell? And it is actually not so easy to buy CCFound because CCFound is not the company. CCFound is the decentralized corporation in the cloud. So in order to have actual power in CCFound, they would have to buy back all the tokens, or at least more than 50% of the total supply. And it won't be easy because more than 50% won't be on the exchange, because most of you will be hoarding the coins and keeping them because they generate tokens. And also the decentralized organization will be buying back the tokens, like I said in the beginning. So even more, it will be impossible to buy 51% by Facebook or Google. And if they even did, it would drive the price so high up that if you sell at this point, you will be a billionaire. So it's actually a very good question. It's a question leading to you becoming a billionaire. What are the risks? So we need to understand that the technology startup is risky by definition. First of all, will the project gain popularity? So we will advertise platform, we will have user acquisition, and if this does not help, we will pivot. Please look at this. YouTube started out as a dating site. Pinterest was an online store. Ferrari started with tractors. So many companies have pivoted in the past. Let's see how we will do. Once we run out of money, we will consider additional funding by the Cryptography Institute, which is a multi-million-dollar company. I am personally a multi-millionaire also, and I am doing this because I want to do something great for the world. And I am 100% engaged in CCFound right now. So I will do everything possible so this won't run out of money. What if something happens to you? Let me also get back to the question before. We also have a budget, we have a management board, and we are accountable. So we are counting money we are spending, just so you understand. What if something happens to me, the leader, the inventor? All right, so the current management board is gradually becoming ready to take over the project in case something would happen to me. And some of our employees have already become guardians of the values and vision we have. So we are closer and closer to the point where maybe possibly in the future I won't be needed anymore. But right now, yes, for the next few years, it would probably be better if I would be healthy and well. Thankfully, I am healthy, and typically I have great health, so maybe nothing will happen to me. What if you get listed in a bear market on an exchange, that is? We consider market making to stabilize the price action. We know this is a process that every project needs to go through. Also remember that this is a deflationary token designed to be worth keeping long term. There is no inflation. Many investors we reached believe in the fundamentals and purpose of the project. So a great number of our investors are sitting on their hands and hoarding the tokens. Only a small portion of our investors are traders speculating on price. Okay, so what if junk content gets the most likes? The same question could have been asked when the Wikipedia, Quora, LinkedIn, or Twitter were introduced. So we want to lead the community in early phases with our internal editorial staff to shape the culture of speech on CCFound. And the community will tag inappropriate content on the IPFS. And by default, low-value content will be filtered out, unless you don't want to filter it out. You may be a researcher that wants to see everything on CCFound, then you will turn off the filters. That's how we also win with censorship. What if a lot of flat earthers, leftists, anti-vaxxers, etc. come to the platform? We will buy advertising targeted at the opposing party with an invitation to discussion. We will become then the hottest medium for heated discussions, and thus CCFound will grow even quicker. So this is actually a very good thing. All right, I spoke about some of the biggest questions that I hear over and over again, especially in my country, in Poland. But maybe your questions are different because you come from different cultures, different perspectives. So let's see. I see one more question. I don't know if I read your name right. Saneli Sive Piose. I'm sorry if I read it incorrectly. CCFound market data isn't tracked on Coin Marketplace. Why is it so? That's because we are not yet officially listed on an exchange. We are currently in the crowdfunding phase, and once we get listed, then CoinMarketCap is beginning to track us. There were times where CoinMarketCap was changing the rules. So they were tracking us, then they weren't, then they were again. So it changes all the time, and we are working with them. And please also understand that these people have completely no time. There is so much going on the market that we can't contact a specific person. We just have to fight with the processes all the time. And we are happy that we are listed at all on CoinMarketCap because we could have been not. So they will track our data after we are listed on an exchange. We need to wait. Right now, we are in an early phase. And that's also why this is beneficial to you, actually, because you are investing in an early phase where your average purchase price will be lower than for people who will enter on an exchange. When we enter the exchange, probably the price will grow a bit higher and higher. You will get no bonuses, you will get no airdrops, you will get no happy hours. So you are purchasing for penny on the dollars right now. Just so you know, I am also purchasing Foundcoins. I am also investing my private money in this project on CCFound.com platform. I have also put some of my private money in this project. Leave alone that I am 100% focused on this and not doing any other business besides this one. All right, so it seems I have answered all of your questions, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. I invite you once again to invest on CCFound.com, and you have still 1.5 hours to take advantage of the happy hours promotion. I wish you good luck. I hope everything will be fine. And also with the market, I hope it will stabilize soon with all of the things that's going all around the world, with inflation, with money printing and interest rates, and possibly wars in some parts of the world. No matter what happens, we need to build CCFound for this and future generations. So I hope you will help us with making the world a better place. Take care, guys. Thank you once again, and see you inside the platform. Cheers.